It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. Last outing for the Clippers, it was a loss to the Pelicans at New Orleans Arena.
A bad outing offensively. You break that game down, their issues were pretty clear.
Yeah, the offense was AWOL. It just wasn't there. No rhythm, no flow, just a tough day.
And Kevin, everybody's dissected Luka's offensive game, trying to find that weakness. And I'm just here to tell you, I don't think he has it. And the first of many to come. Explosive offensive talent on both sides.
Boy, I tell you what, that's going to be like a pinball machine, the way that scoreboard's going to light up.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Pass to Powell. Back to Doncic. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots over Zubac. And the rejection by Zubac. Here's Porzingis. Powell inside. Doncic with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Pass to Porzingis. And it's blocked. Here's George. And George with the stuff.
Assist goes to
George is so smart, so crafty on the dribble. He's just got an excellent way of controlling the ball and his body as he's dribbling.
And the play of Doncic drawing comparisons to so many all-time greats. But, Greg, the one that stood out to me, they said he's a combination of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. What do you think?
And it just makes sense. With his passing and shooting, you throw in the step-back game of James Harden, you start to see why he has become such a problem for this league.
Now, Doncic. Paul George missing from long range. Shoots over Zubac. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops.
You know, Luka's one of those players where the mid-range shot is really a weapon for him, not just an afterthought. I mean, he is lights out from that distance.
Shoots, and it's George missing. And it's Isaiah Hartenstein with the foul. That's his first foul. Mavericks making a switch here. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game.
Clippers foul. Reggie Jackson. That's his first
quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play.
Backcourt violation call.
Dallas making a switch here.
Clippers ball. Now into the lineup for your Mavericks.
And here's George. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. Yep, that one goes. George has got 7 points in the game. And this must be a time of year, Clark, when teams are still working on their chemistry, everybody getting comfortable with their roles.
Well, you know, hopefully that's been established by now, Kevin. And even this early, you'd like that to be kind of anchored in. There's not a lot of time for the feeling out process in the NBA. You know, once the game starts for real, they come pretty fast and furious.
Here's Doncic. Paul George making his last shot. Back to Doncic. Right side, Porzingis. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Just 5 on the clock. It's to Hardaway. Jacks up a 3. Buries it from three-point range.
Boy, that quick trigger mindset. When Hardaway Jr. is firing away like this, you know he's feeling it.
Outside, George. Drops in the layup for 2. And that's 11 points for George.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
A capable defensive player. That wingspan of Batum's really an asset in blocking shots.
Paul George.
Took him no time at all on that one. He's got 13. And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle starts for the Clippers.
Great hustle defensively through the first half. contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Second personal foul.
Well, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Dallas shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And you know you're special when you're drafted third and people still can't believe you slipped that far. That's how good Doncic has been in his young career.
Back to Jackson. George with the ball. He's picked up by Doncic. They get it back. Another shot. And Paul George again.
The assist.
George has got 15.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
In the corner, Marjanovic with it. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. And we'll be right back after this. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. Guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
An impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
Yeah, you know what makes it really easy for the coaching staff in that case? No adjustments needed. Just keep on keeping on.
Mavericks trail by 8. Johnson with it. Pass to Finney-Smith. Ibaka comes with the double team. Brunson scanning the floor. And his first shot of the game, no good. And so Ibaka will bring it up for the Clippers. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
And they swept the season series against this group last season. Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, I like what you said there. I mean, both teams are in the upper echelon of the conference. But they really dominated that matchup. We'll see if that continues to be the case tonight. Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Right side, George. George, double team.
Dallas foul.
And we all know what George brings offensively. But it's his ability as a defender that stands out. Great instincts to make plays on that end of the floor.
Taking 2 shots.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
You know, I really applaud Paul George's mental fortitude. I saw him come into the league as a rookie with the Pacers in 2010, and his growth has been remarkable. He's always been able to look past his setbacks and jabs from the critics to continue to stay focused on being the best player he can be, and he's one of the very best in the league.
Driving the lane. Ntilikina can't hit. And with Paul George in his defense, Greg.
Oh, man.
And you know what? For me, these dunks show exactly how great an athlete George is. I mean, sometimes you're surprised that the basket doesn't come down with the force he punches it with.
And guarding him on the perimeter isn't a priority for them right now, but if this continues, it will be.
The shot by George, no good. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Kristaps Porzingis is returning to form after his knee surgery. He says making sure it's strong and stable is nonstop work, but I'm feeling better, and I have confidence that I can go out there and play freely. His offense has been great. It's the defense again he's still getting right. Guys?
Substitution for
Well,
your
we know he can be a presence, DA, and I think eventually he's going to be what he wants to be. Thank you.
Hardaway Jr.
Paul George really feeling it right now. Another bucket to his credit.
Justice Winslow.
And Hardaway gets it to go.
Outstanding distribution there. I mean, what impressive passing ability.
Outside, George. And it's George again missing.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Ntilikina can't hit.
Good offense squaring up against better D there. You got to appreciate that stop.
Pass to Winslow. Back to George. Trying to find Johnson. He's got it now. Lets it go with a three. And it's George again missing.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
He's not just a shooter, guys. Hardaway Jr. is also capable of getting creative and mixing things up, too. I like it.
Paul George.
And it's Paul George with the finish.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
Well, there's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
Boy, and I used to love going up and jamming it down like that, guys.
By the way, that's a two-pointer. That shot is off.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Here's George. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play.
That's his first personal
It's
foul.
on for Porzingis.
Boy, a nice show of strength that time from Paul George, absorbing the hit and still carving out space to get the shot to go down.
And didn't have a single free throw in that first quarter, but he started to play with a little bit more of an edge to his game here in the second.
Team foul.
And here is Los Angeles now. 10-point lead. Outside, George. Two free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Well, when you shoot it as good as Paul George shoots it, it's hard to stay down on his shot fake.
For the Clippers.
It's really remarkable how he gets defenders to bite on it more times than not.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Definitely, that's one of the reasons they're in front right now.
And both free throws good for Paul George.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Pass to Hardaway. There's the drive. And then Hardaway with the dunk.
A prolific slasher with some serious bounce. Hardaway Jr. Fun to watch.
.29 seconds left to play here in the half. Back to George. 5 to shoot. Oh, that's blocked.
Like seeing Powell flex his muscle on the defensive end. Really good at timing his jump to block the shots.
Pass to Finney-Smith. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the LA Clippers. A grand total of 28 points for him in the game now. They have no answer for him defensively. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. Clark, you had excellent handles for a front court player. How much of a benefit is it for a big man to be comfortable with the dribble, with the ball in his hands?
I think it's so valuable. And now it's a dozen to a dozen big guys can put it on the ground. I mean, it used to be 2 out of a dozen guys you'd see 6, 8 or better that could really handle the ball in my day. But now it's commonplace, and it's a valuable skill. My late dad, emphasized that from the time I started playing organized basketball. Make sure you can go with the ball where you want to against pressure. If you can do that, then you'll always add value to your team as a big guy.
Pass to Powell. Goes up again. And that's 2 points on the layup. Powell's got it back down to within single digits for the Mavs. Powell with the steal. It's stolen by Ibaka. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Kennard's shot is off. And it's Justice Winslow with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here.
To the lineup for your battle, Sterling Brown. Timeout for the Clippers. The loudest and crazy fans get a free t-shirt. Let's hear it, fans.
Unable to get the ball in bounds, they get called for the 5-second violation. Los Angeles leading by 8. To the middle. Goes back up. Zubac trying to break loose. And that one is good from Hartenstein.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball inside.
Brown outside. Back to Porzingis. Porzingis is doubled. Dallas again turning it over.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Reggie Bullock.
Just over a minute and a half have passed here in the third quarter. Pass to Zubac. Batum wide open. He fires. Sinks the three-pointer. Batum's got the lead up to 13 now for the Clippers.
Batum not known for his outside shot, but I'd love to see him knock this shot down on a more consistent basis.
And another miss. Oof, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. With the second effort, and it's in there. Batum's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, you can't forget about the long arms of Batum. I mean, I want to see him be more active on the offensive glass because he's capable.
And they double up Doncic. Dallas moving it around. 6 to shoot. From deep three-point range. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Clippers leading by 15 to the inside. Here's Hartenstein. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist.
You know, Bledsoe has developed his passing skills to the point where you've got to respect that part of his game. He's doing a nice job finding his open guys.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
2 minutes.
The shot by Powell, no good. Over in the corner, Batum. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
And their balanced effort at both ends has hushed this crowd.
Yeah, you said the key word there, balanced. I mean, their big lead owes as much to their defense as their offense.
Come on and get loud for your...
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
.149 left in the third. Bledsoe comes over to help. DeBrunson. Pass to Ntilikina. Over Bledsoe. Here's Powell. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And Dwight Powell continuing his comeback. The ruptured Achilles back in 2020. And that injury now not the career ender it once was.
Well said, Greg. Guys come back from that because of the advances in technology and training. And a credit to Powell that he's back and looking as tough and as impactful as ever. He's a guy that kind of holds the mortar together on team. Does a lot of the stuff that needs to be done.
Greg, playing most of your career in the 90s, the game has really changed. Less physical, more skilled, but what role has the league played in all of that change?
Well, the NBA is at the forefront of these changes. The competition committee that they have that meets annually to discuss ways to try to improve the game. Listen, they're not going to always knock it out of the park, but you have to keep thinking forward. And I applaud the league for their attempts to try to improve this game and grow.
No good on that one.
One of the things I really like about Dwight Powell is that he doesn't play outside of himself. He plays to his strengths.
And the second free throw, good. And it's the Clippers' ball. They're on a 12-1 run. George.
Paul George.
Again, the Clippers.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball.
Doncic, no good.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, mid-range jumpers are something of a lost art these days, but they're still practiced by superstars like Kawhi Leonard. Coach Ty Lue said, why not work on the shots that teams are giving up? Down the stretch, mid-range shots win games, playoffs too. If you shoot it at a high clip, it's just as good as a 3 for me. Guys?
And they do shoot it at a good clip, and they rely on it quite a bit. David, thank you.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Doncic, no good.
And he's still scoreless in the quarter. They might need to go to a plan B to help him get his confidence.
Timeout for the Clippers.
And the Clippers call time here.
Clippers substitution. Serge Ibaka. Keon Johnson.
Now, Doncic. He's one of the better scorers in the league, averaging almost 25 points a game. Out to Hardaway. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We've got more in store for you right after this. And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand.
Yo.
And it's Batum with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Here's George. Porzingis with the block.
Hey, with that length, Porzingis is always a threat to block shots. I mean, when he matches that length with really good energy and awareness, he can be a good defender.
Keon Johnson. That's his first.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Clippers.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
And how about the work they're doing also on the offensive glass? Creating those extra opportunities has been critical.
And the Clippers making a change here. First one falls for him. And the NBA dress code introduced back in 2005. Now, player attire straying a bit from business casual. Does that bother you, Greg?
You know, it doesn't bother me because that's where we are as a society. But, man, I can tell you, when I first came in the league, you get fined if you didn't wear dress socks with your suit.
Paul George.
So we have come a long way in terms of the evolution of fashion. And you know what? I'm not one for stopping progress.
And so it's Dallas with him after Paul George getting his 3 to go. Pass to Ntilikina. Pulls up. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. Gritty and rough. But that's how you win games.
Offensive rebound. Brown, good. Brown's got 4 points in the quarter.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score. Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse to that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood in the water, my man is going for the jugular.
Well, he only plays one way, and that's full throttle, all day, all the time, cold-blooded and lethal.
Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Assist from Nick
George has got 42 in the game.
George, no stranger to dealing with contact and still finishing the shot.
And that's just taking advantage of some soft defense on that drive. Little resistance for him on the way to the basket.
Got that one up quick. George has got 17 now, just in the second half.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Back to Marjanovic. Pass to Brunson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Ntilikina. Second chance shot. Scooped up. Tries it again. That's tipped. Marjanovic. Missed it, even after all those chances. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
That's his second personal foul.
And you can see where they're coming from by fouling to stop the clock, but really they're just kidding themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game is over, and they're the only ones who don't realize that.
And he commits the intentional
2
foul.
minutes remaining in the game.
Amazing how many
2
players
minutes.
we're seeing come into the NBA, Clark, from all over the world right now.
Well, it's truly a global
That's his
game,
third
Kevin,
personal
and
foul.
give credit to former Commissioner
13th
David
foul.
Stern and certainly Adam Silver and his staff.
Substitution for
The
your
league is a global league. The
Dwight
star
Howard.
players have done a great job of promoting it as a worldwide game as well. Every year you get players from multiple continents, Asia, Africa, Europe, Australia. Basketball is, again, it's a global game, so it makes sense we'll see more players from all over the world in the NBA. You know, as I watch Doncic, I think it's futile to try to distract this guy. His focus and concentration and control of himself
Keon Johnson.
is excellent.
The assist, Serge Ibaka.
And really the story of this second half, one team getting the shots they want, the other not so much.
And that's why you have such a huge gap in the shooting numbers between the teams.
Near the three-point line, it's Doncic. Misses the jumper.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Los Angeles.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10. And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for George.
Boy, this game really had his name all over it. I mean, he relished being the guy to carry the load offensively.
From the arc, Powell pulls it in.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
The drive by Doncic. And Doncic throws it down.
Speedy drive by Doncic, that doesn't quite go together. He usually is going at his home pace, but he does take advantage of holes when he sees them.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They